Just keep on, hey, just keep it coming. Keep giving me motivation. I need it. You know, and I feel like when I'm on the floor, I'm a kid back in Akron, man. I just want to play this game. Coming from a single-parent household, I used to always think, like, why us?
These guys have a bullseye.
Me and D-Wade looking at each other like, you made the right choice, man. I got so many different forms of leadership, and it just comes from my personality.
If you're not exhausted, you ain't playing hard enough.
The most difficult part is not being able to do as much with my kids as I would like.
Who was I playing against tonight?
I don't play for what people expect for me to do anymore.
I will live every moment with this one right here.
I want to be the greatest of all time.
There's a lot we know about LeBron James. 10-time All-Star, 4-time league MVP, 2-time champion, and 3rd title in his sights. But there's another side to him that not many see. LeBron James, the teammate, the dad, the person. I first saw LeBron play when he was still in high school.
He's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So after all these years, when he wanted to sit down with me to open up about his life and career, you didn't have to twist my arm to make the trip down to Miami.
Let me start off first. You spoiled down here in Miami. Tell me about the palm trees, the beaches, the water, you know, being from the Midwest.
Oh, for sure,
I just
man.
came back from the Midwest. Tell me how about being down here in Miami.
It's definitely different, man. And I mean, like you said, being from the Midwest, you wasn't getting up and going outside in shorts and T-shirt. You probably get that what, 2 weeks out of a year where you could just put on shorts and T-shirt and walk out the house, man, and you don't take it for granted because just like you said, we from the Midwest and we know how treacherous and how cold those days was, man, those bone-chilling days.
Looking back, you know, I remember when you first entered the league. It's been over a decade now. Talk about that. The time is just went.
It's crazy, right, Smitty, man? It's over a decade already. And I mean, I'm in my 11th season. I remember like it was yesterday when I was suiting up and in Sacramento at Arco Arena. It was my first game.
The much anticipated debut of one LeBron James in probably the most anticipated debut of any first-year athlete in any sport.
I was nervous and there was so many cameras there. But this was my dream.
Here he comes the other way. There's your first James Jam of his career.
And now, wow, 11 years later, you know, I'm still able to, you know, do the things that I love to do.
The NBA champion Miami Heat receiving their rings. The championship banner raised to the rafters.
You look now, you're going for 4th straight finals appearance, trying to go for a three-peat. What's been the difference from last year to this year, and also what will be your biggest obstacles?
I think the biggest difference, you know, from last year to this year is, you know, it's just getting back into the flow again, you know, getting back into, you know, what motivates us as a team, you know, because we've seen the promised land 2 times. We've been to the top of the mountain 3 straight times, but we fell off once. So what's going to be our motivation this year that can get us back to that mountaintop? I think our biggest challenge, you know, for us at times is us.
The Jazz upset Miami.
We have to motivate each other, knowing that, hey, listen, these regular season games, these games on a Tuesday night, or this, you know, game, this 4th game in 5 nights here in Milwaukee, or whatever the case may be, they really mean a lot.
And the Heat lose 2 straight on the road.
The process has to start now. We can't wait till April and a game 3 on the road or a game 4 on the road and think we can just click on. So I think for us, a lot of times it's us who has to be mindful of what needs to be done to help us get better.
I was going to wear the same suit as this guy, but I'm glad I didn't because we would have clashed.
Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what you can do with it.
What's this, about a 48 long?
Yeah. Oh, you styling.
How am I doing?
You doing good. Hold on, I got you.
I can do it?
Yeah, I think you can do it.
What do you guys
I think you can do it.
All right, I'm going to conduct the draft in this after I announce you, okay?
All right. I mean, if anybody can do it, you can.
All right. The Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James.
Even when LeBron James was an 18-year-old coming into the league, he gave off an air of confidence and a sense of ease.
Nice black and white shoes. To go with the matching belt, you know, tie, LJ on the arm, or something.
And it wasn't just the way he dominated on the court.
LeBron James, extraordinary.
It was also how he handled himself in the spotlight. A teenager who knew how to act like a man.
You talk all you want about this kid. He's still only 18 years old.
There seemed to be an aura around this phenom, a feeling of expectation about how great he could be.
He couldn't even stretch before this game without about 15 cameras around it.
But what people didn't know is how he would respond to all the attention.
You look at it, going back to your career, you've been under a microscope since you entered this league.
Can I have a picture? Just take it.
Well, you know what, let me go back. You've been under a microscope since high school. How have you dealt with that? How have you grown?
I've had ups and downs like any old person. I would say I've had more ups than downs.
Oh, my!
And I've been blessed to be able to play this beautiful game. It's allowed for me to be recognized not only in hometown, not only in the Midwest, not only in Florida, but all over the world.
We in China. That's where we at. In Beijing, baby!
I don't take that for granted, and that's why every single night, man, no matter the injuries that I may have, the nicks and bruises that I feel like, I don't know if I can give it, I'll be like, no way. There's no way I can sit out tonight because at the end of the day, it don't last forever. So I want to give what I can to this game.
Uh-oh. That's LeBron James with authority, and they're standing here in Miami.
You talk about that attention, that recognition. You know, give me some stories. Some funny stories, some scary stories. You've had somebody jump over your fence. You've had somebody film you. Give me one of those stories, one of those moments.
I've had one of those.
Scary and funny.
Well, it can be scary and funny at the same time. I knew that I was starting to become something bigger than being just a hometown hero or just a kid from Akron that was making a difference. When someone followed me from my home all the way to Cleveland, to the arena, and back, and waited for me after, just to get an autograph. I was like, wow, this person really enjoys the way I play the game, and I knew it was something special.
Growing up in Akron, it's well documented that, you moved around, you relied on friends you stayed with sometimes. Talk about how that affected you as a kid and how that has made you who you are today.
As a kid, sometimes you think about the worst that can happen, and coming from a single parent household, I used to always think like, why us? Why is my mother and I going through what we're going through? Why isn't my father around? Why? And then you get to a point where you start using it as motivation. Like, okay, what we have is something special. The man above has put me and my mother in this situation for a reason. And it's how we handle it is gonna make us stronger. And that's what I started to think about. And what it brought me friendship out of nowhere.
I grew up with this dude. Matter of fact, his family took me in when I was 8, 9 years old. It seemed like it was longer than that, but I stayed with them for like 3 years. Him and his family, his mom, his dad, and his 2 sisters.
I got 4 friends that we all grew up at the same time, and we all love doing the same things. We all love playing free-for-all football outside, playing basketball, playing tag, and having fun and laughing and joking. And I think because of the way I just started thinking about life and the situation me and my mother was in, that the man above brought me those guys.
That's Mad's signature. That's mine. That's Romeo. That's Willie, Sheehan, and Drew. My locker was right here. Right here, a lot of laughing and joking, because we was like in this corner.
You talked about having fun, but was there any time the emotion, was that anger? Was that anger a part of it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, as a kid and as an African-American kid and as a young man, I had to grow up faster than a lot of kids in my neighborhood because it was just me and my mother. So anger does play a part into it. You know, anger plays a part into it sometimes when you go to other places. You see kids have things that you want, that you've seen on TV. You know, you've seen a commercial and you was like, oh, I want that. And you know you can't get it. And anger starts to creep into your mind for sure. But at the same time, when those days rolled around, when those Christmas days rolled around, when Thanksgiving rolled around, when my birthday rolled around, I had it. My mother figured out a way to have it, so the little bit of anger that I might have had in April or May or whatever, she took it away, man. And December 25th, December 30th, my birthday, you know, Halloween, I had a costume. No matter if she bought it from the store, she made it in the house. My mother, Gloria James, is, of course, the reason why I'm standing up here. I don't know how you did it. I still haven't figured it out. Wow.
Some kind of way, though, dealing with all those different friends, different people growing up, has that made you a great teammate? Has some kind of way that you connected all the dots?
I think so, Smitty, man. I think the best thing that happened to me is when I first started playing organized basketball, my little league coach, which became like a big staple in my life, Frank Walker, he said there's no individual bigger than the team. He knew I was the best player. We won the championship, and I led the league in scoring, I led the league in rebound and assists. At our banquet at the end of the year, he walked up there and gave all 7 guys, and we had 1 girl on the team too. We all got the MVP trophy, all of us. You know, because he said, you know, everyone played a part in us winning a championship.
Hey, cheer your teammates on. Cheer them on.
That part of the game was instilled. I said, okay, well, if this is how you win, why would I change? And we won it the next year.
Right.
And we won it the next year.
That's our first state championship, 99-2000, when I was a freshman. Come down here, we got regional final championships, we got state championships in here, man.
So I was like, I'm not changing. I like winning. I like winning.
Right.
In a league of his own, LeBron.
Cavalier franchise record.
The youngest to a
First ever Cavalier in the history of the franchise.
Expectations. Talk to me, how have you dealt with expectations from early in your career to now?
It was challenging at first. It was very challenging. It was tough to deal with in the beginning. I would say my first 3 years. I think your first 3 years, okay, I came to a team in Cleveland where they won 17 games before I was drafted, and then we went to 35. So, you know, I made an impact.
Davis way upstairs. Oh, the explosion from the wonder kid, LeBron James.
And then the next year we won 41. We missed the playoffs by 1 game.
LeBron James with no regard for human life.
You should look nicer after you done.
Oh, no, for what?
You should laugh. Have fun with it.
I couldn't laugh on that. I had to scream.
Why?
Because
You should have fun with
it
it.
was an emotion game.
And then the next year, we won our first round in the playoffs. It was our first time in the playoffs in, I think, 9 years, and we beat Washington.
LeBron to the hoop for the win. He got it with 9/10 left. You can book this one to the Cavaliers.
But then after that, the expectations started to grow. Like, okay, you've gotten to the playoffs. You know, you've gotten past the first round. Can you win a championship?
He has scored 22 of the Cavaliers' last 23.
LeBron James with a huge hoop. I don't believe it.
In 07, you know, we were ecstatic about getting there, and we ran up against a team that was trying to win multiple championships in San Antonio.
We're going to drive these guys. This is going to be your league in a little while. But I appreciate you giving us this year.
And the Cavaliers, such a bitter end to their season.
The Magic eliminated LeBron James and the Cavs, the team with the best record in the NBA.
And LeBron James' season is over. Is his career in Cleveland over?
I wasn't able to come through. You know, in my 7 years in Cleveland, what starts to creep into your mind is doubt.